So let's say it's like a running toilet, maybe it's a bad flapper or something.
Yeah.
So what kind of questions are you asking to understand, more about the problem, what they're looking for in their plumbing? What do you like to ask?
I ask questions like, has this happened before, right? Or how long has this been happening? When did you notice it? Is anything else affected? Do you see any other issues at other bathrooms? I will look in the tank and I'll ask, maybe there's a lot of sediment. Do you have a water filtration system? Then I start asking a lot of these questions, right? That people, it's like going to a doctor's office, right? They ask you a lot of questions before they actually look at the problem, right?
Right.
You have to go through the blood pressure and get your height and ask questions before you even see the doctor, right?
Right.
It's kind of the same thing, right? You learn a lot about a person.
Right.
I think big key for me is I just listen. I ask a question and I shut up. I let him talk as much as possible. People will tell you how to sell.
So you're not doing any repairs, right? You're purely giving them options on something.
Yeah, I mean, I have it, like I said, I have an installer with me, right?
Right.
And he comes in with me.
Okay.
Automatic. So he's with me the whole time.
Okay.
I don't leave him in the truck beforehand.
Right.
And
so in this case, for example, this running toilet, will you give a homeowner, say, some options on how to fix that problem right now, and then will you do the safety, your inspection, or do you like to do your inspection all kind of at once after you look at the initial problem, and then you kind of find a way to talk about the inspection? What's your process?
Let's see, this depends on the call and what it's involved. Let's say we're talking about the toilet, right? And I see there's more issues, and there's just a flapper, stuff is rusted out. Now I have more options to give. I have for a total rebuild or possibly even a new toilet, right? I'll check the faucet also, since I'm in the bathroom, I'll turn things on. I see the pressure is really high, we'll go check the water pressure. Then when we're in a water heater all of a sudden, right? So we start getting into it more before I even give options.
So real quick, let's slow down and see the magic there. So you see that water pressure is really high. People don't. They're like, I'm just turn it on, water.
It's great. Yeah, they love it.
Yeah.
High.
Right. So what do you say to go, I need to check your water pressure elsewhere in your home? How do you explain why you need to start walking through their home?
Well, faucets, and I just let them know, faucets and fixtures are rated up to, usually around 80 PSI, right? Anything over that could start causing failures and gaskets and whatnot. So we want to make sure that it's not over that, right? So it prevents future costly repairs or replacements. And, people are obviously open to that. They don't want to pay more for things later. So we check it and we go from there, right? And of course, then that leads to their water heater. Do they have an expansion tank, right? And then I see the age of the water heater, and then I can ask questions. Have you maintained it? It just kind of starts rolling, right?
Well, let's dig in almost. I don't want to say a role play, but again, I'm average Joe homeowner. I know I turn my shower on. I get hot water. I don't think about that thing at all. So all of a sudden, you're asking, what are some questions you would ask me in that circumstance? Maybe it's a 20-plus-year-old water.
Oh, questions about the water heater itself?
Yeah, just give me because you're trying to plant seeds that you really should replace this thing, right?
Correct.
So you got to get me on board to do so. Yeah. So how do you get my mindset going? I just called you for a running toilet, and now we're looking at a water heater, right?
So I want to back up a little bit, right? I try not to go any further really than that. I just look at it and take mental notes.
Okay.
Right? Because now we're getting off track too much.
Sure.
And I don't want to get the customer off track. They call us out for this.
Right.
Let's handle that.
Okay, good.
But I'm taking a lot of mental notes as I check things, right?
Okay.
But I'll let them know. I ask them, is there anything else for me to take a look at? Well,
yeah.
No, that'll be all. I'm like, okay. So then I'll start writing the options for that specific problem, right?
Okay.
And if we check the water pressure and we talk about that, I'll let them know about that too, right? But first we want to keep it basic. So I'll give them a few options. One option, replace the flapper, then rebuild, internal rebuild, and then a new toilet, right?
Right. And
I tell them benefits of all three. I let them know, right? 10, 15-year-old toilet, just like anything else that's older, you start replacing parts. And sometimes it's better to get a new one instead of dumping money into something that's old.
Sure.
And I say 8 out of 10 times I'll get a new toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're lifting the toilet up, right? So I have my installer do that right away, right? I get him going on that. I stay there.
Real quick, let me come if I can stop there. If we're okay, you got me sold on a new toilet. It makes sense. I'm gonna get a new toilet. There's all sorts of toilets, right? So,
Yes.
so how do you give them options on a type of new toilet, or do you not give them options?
We just talk about it, right? If they want something similar, or do they want a one piece? Do they want a two piece? Do they want to go something more high end? I let them know that the pricing is based on a two piece. Good toilet, right? Which is medium price, like $300 toilet, right? Which is a good toilet. We don't put anything cheap, no $69 specials.
Yeah.
You know, everything we put is quality.
Yeah, how do you talk about it? Because I can go to Home Depot and get a toilet for cheap. So how do you explain how much better your materials are? I think you were starting to do that. So how do you kind of dive into that a bit?
Yeah, we talk about just things lasting longer, right? Now, you know, I live in a different market than a lot of people, you know. People have more money to spend, usually.
Yeah.
And they want something that lasts. You do run into those clients that just want something cheap in and out.
Yeah.
But I let them know, you know, if you want to just do it once and do it right, you know, a lot of people don't want to keep their plumber coming back every single year or every couple of years to fix something.
Right.
You know, they don't want to see him for another 10, 20 years.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? I mean,
It's an interruption in your schedule.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I just let them know it's a good quality toilet, right? It's gonna last you a while.
Mm-hmm.
We do have warranty. You know, we have a 1-year warranty. If anything happens, that's kind of where I leave it.
Okay.
And then people will ask if, you know, I'll be like, oh, do you have this? Do I get to choose? I'm like, sure. And then I'll just give them some, you know, we'll go on a website.
Okay.
Even like a Home Depot website even. And then just show them, you know, like, yeah, this is the range kind of where we're at, you know? And sometimes they want to go something bigger, right? Then we open that conversation.
Okay.
But let's say they just do pick whatever I offered.
Yeah.
They sign, they pick that option. Well, I stay there. I don't leave. Even though I'm not doing the work, I'll still talk to them. My installer will go to supply house, get what he needs.
Okay.
And I'll be hanging out with the client.
Okay.
And we'll just be talking about whatever.
So you're not doing an inspection. Nope. Just finding ways to.
Yeah, we just talk some more. You know, family. You know, that's an easy topic to talk about a lot of the times, right?
Yeah.
Family and kids and whatever else. You know, that's I don't know. It's easy for me to talk about all that. So
Yeah.
we'll just talk. He'll come back, and he'll start removing, and then I'll kind of pause with the client and be like, "Hey, he's here. You know, while I'm here and he's doing this, I can do a full safety evaluation for you. You know, what this is going on."
Right.
At this point, the client is mine, right?
Right.
Or I mean, we had a great conversation. Like, yeah, go ahead, check it out. You know, I'll be here.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm like, did I ask to get into the crawl space? I mean, that's really where I want to go.
Do you real quick before we go to the crawl space? When you're changing toilets out, will you ever run cameras just to see if there's any kind of drain issues? Hey, while we're removing it, or do you guys not do it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Drain does come at some point. And usually when the toilet is lifted and you see the toilet flange, right? If it's rusted, old, or, you know, you got the bolts are not even holding, right? Because it's all rusted out. But anytime I go to any house, my goal is to get in the crawl.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get
Period.
it. Right.
Period. Doesn't really matter what's under your sink. I'm going under there, right?
Sure.
And once you establish that rapport and that relationship, it's easy. People are like, yeah, go ahead. And I'll ask them, be like, hey, what was the last time somebody was down there? Right.
Yeah.
And it actually checked everything out. Oh, you know, and nobody has. Or maybe I had a termite inspection a year ago, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever. But yeah, they'll open it up. I'll go down there with the camera. At that point, I have my installer stop what he's doing and then run every faucet, flush everything, and, you know, run all the water everywhere.
Yeah. Making notes.
Yep, and then just take pictures, a lot of pictures.
Video or all pictures?
There's some videos. If I see, you know, an active leak, then I'll take a video of that.
Right.
And I just check all the system underneath. I'll even look at gas really quick. I try to stick to what they call it. So if it's a drain, anything drain related, I'll stick to drains, but I'll keep an eye on the water.
Right.
And I might bring it up to the client, because I don't want them surprised later.
Sure.
So let them be like, hey, I noticed there is some electrolysis on your copper or some rust coming out of your galvanized water lines.
Yeah.
The gas lines are rusted, but I won't really go too much into that. Just kind of let them know, be like, hey, I saw some other concerns. But
are you documenting all this on a written inspection? Do you guys do it digitally?
I don't know. So we have home protection plan that we have technicians that go to those calls, and they have an actual inspection sheet.
Right.
For this, no. We're just going kind of sticking to what the call is and kind of...
But you're taking pictures, you're not writing anything down. Okay.
I'm just down there and we're also taking pictures of everything.
All right.
Then I'll come out and go straight to the client and just go over the pictures and let them know what I saw.
Yeah. Will you look at other I mean, for example, this is a toilet. It's a 20-year-old toilet. You said, hey, it makes sense to replace it. Do you bring up, at what point do you bring up, hey, if this is 20 years old and you've got 2 more bathrooms,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'll mention that.
Yeah.
If it's a toilet, do you have any other ones that you're
Okay.
looking to replace? Yeah, I'll definitely mention that.
Is that when you mention that, is that when you sold the first toilet or when you're doing the inspection?
No, before that.
Before that. Okay.
Yeah, before that. So, when we look at that one, then I'll ask, is there any other ones you want me to take a look at?
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And so that way you can look at everything.
Yeah, but I don't try to force anything.
Right.
Right? Like I said, the money is in the crawl space.
All right. So you came up from the crawl space. Go ahead. Walk me through that then.
I get out, get my crawl suit off, and I just go to the client. And show them, be like, hey, took some pictures. This is what I see underneath, If there is any concerns, I'll go over them. I kind of show them, zoom in on certain parts, and let them know. I'll give them some more options, to either replace or repair.
A lot of repipes, I guess, then?
A lot of repipes.
Yeah. Just a lot of old homes, pipes that are original.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
You can't get to $4 million by replacing toilets.